Hi Flosstube, how's it going guys? This is Diane, the b.a.blessingstitcher, and this is Flosstube number 3. Made it to 3. I want to first of all remember the date because I haven't done that yet. Today is Thursday, July 6th. And I want to thank everyone, first of all, who has taken the time to watch my videos, to comment, to like, to subscribe. I thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. Your comments have been so warm and encouraging, even though I'm bumbling through this whole process a little bit. I just appreciate you so much. And for anybody that's new coming in, that hasn't been here before, welcome. I'm glad that you found the channel, and I hope you like it, and I hope you'll stay and like and subscribe and ring the bell and all the things. Today I wanted to talk about a lot of things. I actually made some notes this time so I wouldn't hopefully fumble quite so much. I felt like last time was pretty disorganized. So I'm hoping to be a little bit better. I wanted to talk a little bit about a life update for me. I had mentioned in the past that I had done a number on my arm, and even though I said it was healing, the break has been healing, but the arm hasn't been great. I haven't been able to do a lot of lifting with it yet. I've got pretty good strength in it, but certain angles are still painful. So I had another appointment with my surgeon. He assured me that everything looks really good, but apparently I have tendonitis in that elbow now, which I guess is common after dislocating an elbow. So I have to have an injection. Also, there's a few bone fragments that healed into the soft tissue, which may eventually need to have a scope done if I continue to have trouble. So right now, basically what it does is it pops, which is kind of gross. Feels really weird. And it hurts because of the tendonitis. But my hope is once I get the injection that popping will, even if it continues, it won't hurt. The town I live in is a small town called Sioux Center. It's kind of wedged sort of between Sioux City, Iowa and Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So I'm right on the border. So I'm close to Minnesota, close to South Dakota, close to Nebraska. I can kind of hit all of those states in a pretty short amount of time. So that's where I'm located. So we do get cold winters, which I love for being able to snuggle in and just stitch. But we also get humidity in the summer. It's kind of a farming community. Lots and lots of cornfields, bean fields, that kind of thing. But I love it here. I really do. My kids are here. My family is here. I love it here. So anyway, enough about me. I had talked to you guys about my dilemma with my sewing machine on my first video, and I made a decision to move it back into my craft room. Even though I really didn't love going down to the basement, I couldn't stand the mess in my house, and it wasn't terribly functional. I have 2 machines. One is regular and one is more of a quilting machine. And I just find it's easier to have both of them set up and ready to go so I can kind of hop back and forth as needed, because my quilting machine only does a straight stitch. It doesn't do a zigzag or anything like that, but it's a wonderful machine. It's a Judy, which I really like. So that's kind of a newer thing for me. Sorry, pardon me while I look at my notes this time. So anyway, I moved it all down into the basement, and I actually spent a day down there not too long ago sewing something, which I'll show you guys a little bit later at the end, and I didn't mind it. There's some pretty good light. It's fluorescent, but it's pretty bright right over my craft area, and so it was okay. Like I said, it actually functioned a lot better. Once I got it set up, it functioned better than being upstairs here. So anyway, I did have one question last time, and it was on my Love Grows by Primrose Cottage. She asked what fabric I had stitched it on, what count, and if I had made any color changes. I have looked high and low for that pattern and I cannot find it. I had my fingers on it less than a week ago, and I put it someplace really safe because it's gone. but I know that I stitched it on 32 count Lugana, and it was in a light taupe color. And I changed only one color in that pattern. The red that was called for the door and some of the other things, I changed it to more of a pinky red, not super pink, but the one that was called for was a little bit orange, and I didn't care for it. It was just orange red is not my favorite to begin with, so I chose something that was a little bit more on the pink side to kind of go along with the rest of the pink that was in that stitch. So that was my only question. I have had quite a few people ask on Facebook and Instagram where I got my 3-tiered tray from. And at the time, it was not available. This is my 3-tiered tray. Pardon me for bumping you around, but that's my 3-tiered tray in the background. It's actually an oval shape, and I got it from a place called Greenhouse Home. And I will go ahead and I'll put a link in the bottom to that tray if anyone is interested still, just so that you can find it, because I had a hard time finding it back. But if anyone's interested, that's where I got it. It's not round. It's actually more of an oval. It's kind of like oblong shaped, but I really love it. It's not as sturdy as I would like it to be. I tend to bump it and things can go flying sometimes, so I don't know if there's a way to sturdy it up, but it's tucked for me. It's off in a corner that doesn't get traffic, so it's not a big deal. So if you're interested in that, I'll put a link in the description down below. Okay, finishes. I had a couple. You guys saw my finishes from last time, but they weren't FFO'd, and I did get them FFO'd. The first one that I have is the 1776 stitch, which when I was stitching it, I was actually a little bit afraid that the white was too light, but it actually shows up a lot better than I thought it would. So that was a free pattern. I'm going to try to give you guys links and stuff to all of the different patterns and stuff that I have. I'll try to include those in the descriptions. The backing on this was kind of fun. This is just a piece of muslin that I had painted the stripes down the side. I had a stencil and I just used some fabric paint and I painted the stripes down one side. It was an experiment and I thought, well, let's use that fabric. So, and that really matched quite well with the rest of the fabric on here. So that worked good for my background. So that was one, and I did get it done before 4th of July, so I was able to display it. I'm actually going to probably leave my 4th of July stuff up through August, and then I'll switch over to fall come September, just because it's a lot of work, you guys, isn't it though? And then the other thing that I finished was Patriotic Flowers, my second pillow. You got to see the stitch last time from me, but you didn't get to see it fully finished. So I finished it the same way that I did the first one, which was with Lady Dot Chenille around the outside, and that was, I can't remember the color of it. It was not vintage. I don't have any vintage, but it was more of an ivory colored chenille. And then I had picked up just some fabric in a darker blue with some little, I'm not sure what those are, little dots and stuff. And so I used that on both of them. So they match, called them my little twins. And so I'm really, really happy with how those turned out. I'm trying to remember to leave these up longer so you guys can see them. I tend to kind of flash them and then put them back down. So anyway, if anybody wants to know that pattern is this one, and it's from Emily Call, called Patriotic Flowers. And I did change a couple of the colors because the fabric I used, I have to get better about writing things down, you guys. When I started some of this stuff, I didn't know I was going to start a floss tube, so I'm going to start getting better at writing down my fabrics and stuff. I did choose kind of a lighter tan color, and the colors around the flowers here called for a cream color. And I stitched it first and it didn't show at all. It ended up being exactly the same color as the fabric. And I happened to be sitting next to one of my stitching friends when I was stitching this, and I had a lighter blue in the bag. I don't know why. I don't think it was called for. I don't know why I had that in there. And she's like, well, why don't you try a light blue around it? So I did, and everywhere that that color was called for, I stitched a light blue. And it wasn't much on this pillow, but on this pillow, I followed kind of the same pattern, and all of this was cream. All of that was cream color, and I just ended up following the same pattern, and I stitched it in a light blue as well. So I'm happy with how that turned out. It shows definitely a lot more. Okay, then I just have one more that I haven't shown you. I didn't just finish this. I've had this one done for a while, but I'm stuck. I don't know how to FFO it. I bought a, say this right, B-skep. I bought a B-skep from the Carolina Cross Stitchers shop. Her husband makes these. They're incredible. They hold 5 scissors, and I had them do it in, I think it's a walnut. It's not actually black, even though it kind of looks like it is. She kind of did this one for me. It wasn't available in the shop, but before I ordered it, she did let me see a sample of it ahead of time, and it was so beautiful. And I went, yep, that's the one I want. And so what I have on here is Blooming Tiny Town, and it's just pinned on, as you can see, and I can't figure out how to edge it. I've tried several fabrics, I've tried a couple different trims, and I really want to finish it because I want to be able to interchange all of my tiny towns on here. I'm stuck, really stuck. I can't quite figure it out, but I love this little tiny town. Isn't this just the cutest, you guys? Look at all these little, she's got some little buttons. There's some lazy daisy stitches on there. The tall bird. There's some French knots too. There was one section, where did it go? I think one of them had some French knots on the top of one of the houses. There they are. Those little guys are French knots. So it was really a super fun stitch. I enjoyed that one so much. But I haven't started any of the other ones, even though I own them, almost all of them, I think, because I'm stuck with how to finish them, and I kind of want to do something similar on all of them. So I've been sitting here for months, and like since the spring, and I just haven't quite figured it out. So he sits around here with his pins, and I still get to enjoy him, but I do need to get something done there. So that was it for my finishes this week. The next thing I think that I was going to try to jump into was some of my whips, and I'm going to try and do better with telling you what fabrics that I have, and show you the patterns as well. So one of them you've already seen, and I did a little bit, but not a whole lot more. This one is my One Nation, and now that the 4th of July is over, I've kind of lost some of my desire to stitch on him. But I did finish my gridding up to the very top of it, and that matched and balanced, and so that was all great. Sorry that this is not ironed, it's such a huge piece. But I did get all of my gridding done up to the very top. And I started, I don't know if you can see it, but I started doing the words. So I really should do the stars because I think I'm gonna get really sick of the stars. I know I watched Vicky, the Virginia Stitcher, and her goal was every time she did a row, she made herself do a star. But there's not 50 rows. Maybe I'll have to do 2 or 3 stars for every row, just in order to make myself do some of the things that probably will get a little bit monotonous. But anyway, I really do love this one, and I am gonna keep plugging away. I hope to have that one done by next 4th of July. I would really love to have that one hanging on my wall next year. So that's one of them. Let me show you the pattern of that one finished. It looks like this. And I'll try to get in close so you guys can see the letters, the words, and those stars that have to be done. They're a little confetti because each one of those stars has one little white dot in the middle, and I can't decide if I want to travel or if I want to try to do a pin stitch for each one. Just learned how to pin stitch. It's a work in progress, but it's kind of fun. It's fun to learn new stuff. So I'm kind of excited to do them too yet. What I did see Vicky, the Virginia Stitcher, do was she took the state that she was born, the state her husband was born, and the state that they live in, and she did them in a different color. She chose a gold, and I'm not sure I will try that same. She waffled a little bit on it because it didn't really show up, and I know she was doing it on the same fabric that I'm doing as well. I'm sorry, excuse me. I might have to edit that out. And it just didn't really show up very clearly, so I am not sure how I will try to do that. Maybe do them in navy, I don't know. But I think that's a cool idea, and I think I might try it. I have a long, long way to go before I get to that point. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So I continue to work on that one. There's one. So it's officially Jolly July, and I said that I was going to do Jolly July and that I was going to pick up and do some of my previous stitches. Well, that didn't go very good. I picked up this one and I'm like, you have to finish this. You have to finish this guy. This is the toy store. It's a Dimensions Gold Petite Kit. And let me show you a picture of what he is supposed to look like. I always kind of do that backwards. Sorry, guys. It's really very pretty. I like him a lot. However, I told you in the first video that my stitches on this are... And I use this really big magnifying lens when I'm stitching with a really bright light. I love it. It helps me so much. But it really magnifies my ugly stitches. I put about 30 stitches into this guy and I went, and put them away. And then I lost my mojo for like 2 or 3 days. I'm like, I don't know what direction to go now, because I was gonna work on that. I was gonna try to get some, maybe finish it by Christmas. I don't think he's gonna get finished by Christmas anymore because I'm not loving him, but I'm not ready to give up on it either yet. So he remains on the pile. But one of the other projects that I really wanted to start, and I'm in a stitching group, we call ourselves the Stitchy Pals, and we message each other every day. There's a group of 10 or 11 of us, and we have so much fun just chit-chatting, enabling, sharing our lives with each other. And they're such a great resource when I'm struggling with things. And we all started talking about Seasons 2 by Hands On Design. Quite a few of us have it. And let me show the bottom ones. We thought it would be a good idea if we all started it. So I did. And it took me a little while to figure out my fabric. I gotta look up my fabric. I wrote it on a card. I made a project card. So I'm using 32 count Lugana in platinum for these, and I'm stitching 2 over 2, and I'm using Kimberly's conversion thread pack from Fat Quarter Shop. And the info for that conversion, it took me a little bit to find it. It's actually in their Jolly Jabber, I think it might be called Jolly. They have a blog, and it's in their blog. You have to go back and search for season 2, and you'll be able to find the conversion. Because I actually purchased the thread, but in my thread pack there was no instructions as to what color substituted for what color. So I had to go back into the blog to find that information out. So I printed that out and I have that handy for me. And I decided to start on August. Pardon my threads. I'm such a work in progress, you guys. I hope you can bear with me. And I haven't done very much because I just, like I said, I fumbled around for a couple of days, not sure what direction to go. But I started the August one because I thought I could maybe finish that one before we get to August. So, and my hope is that I will either put this in, I decided to do them individually. I cut the fabric. I was waffling on whether to do it all on one piece or to do individuals. And initially I had always planned to do individual ones. And, but then when I saw Nicole Spores, I just loved it so much. And I loved it with the border and I thought it was so pretty. that it really made me rethink it. But I have different things purchased for individuals. So I bought Chantel 141 Designs on the edge backer, which is just a backer board that it would fit on, and then it has like a little square box that attaches to the front of it that you can decorate with cute little things and put it inside there. So I have that. It's not finished yet. It's all still in the plastic. But I do kind of plan on doing that. But the other thing that I bought initially that I thought I would do, and I'm going to try really carefully to raise this without dropping it all. I bought this from Paisley and Polka Dots, and it's their little calendar, and you can see I have it decorated just with some stars and stuff right now, but this would also fit the individual ones very well, with room on the bottom to still go ahead and do a few little decorations or something if I wanted to do that. So I'm not sure yet which one it's gonna go, but I think it'll be almost the same size of a finish when I'm done. So I'll have a little time before I have to make up my mind on that one. So that's where I'm at with my seasons 2. And then I also had decided that I wanted to do, I gotta look at what I have in here. Oh yeah, I decided, I haven't shown you guys these yet. There's a gal that's called, I don't know how to pronounce it, Crochet Go-Go or something like that, and she has created some of the cutest seasonal patterns, and I've purchased all of them now. She had only autumn, winter, and spring done before, and this year she came out with summer, so I got that one too. And they're like little different scenes of the most adorable little bunnies doing different things. I hope you guys can see some of that. On the bottom, I'll just kind of go up each row. But they're basically little bunnies that are doing just fun things. One standing on a ladder by the tree in the middle there. And I just think it's so cute. But it doesn't really match my house very well, but I can't help it, I love them. So I decided to try something absolutely crazy. I decided to try this. Oh, I wrote a project card, let me find it. Here we go. It's called Autumn, this one that I'm doing right now. I'm doing it on raw linen by 1-2-3 stitch, and it was 36 count, but I'm doing it 1/1. And it's tiny. It's really gonna be kind of tiny. But I thought then I could make a pillow and I could kind of toss it around or throw it anywhere. But it's really, look at my little teeny tiny stitches. It's really tiny. So I need you guys to tell me in the comments, am I crazy? Should I start over and should I do it bigger? I don't know. Here it is, it's so tiny. Yeah. That one will probably drive me crazy by the time I'm done. My eyes do get a little sore. Not sore, they get a little blurry if I work on it for too long. Then I need to work on something bigger. So anyway, that was one of my other starts this time. Here's the other patterns that she has. This one, you know, it's in a different language, but I know this one is winter. And she's kind of got it done in some of the aqua colors with red. But it's all kind of got the bunnies, as you can see in that middle row especially. There's bunnies doing fun things with some houses, some snowflakes around the outside. Okay, that one is winter. And this one is spring, and it's done in the most pretty pink. I don't think I would change any of the colors on any of this. I really think they're so pretty. Again, bunnies in the middle, but then just some of the cutest vignettes and cutest little scenes on each of the rows. I just love them. And you know, if you wanted to, you could totally pull out a couple of them and just do a small. I mean, could totally do something like that. There's so much going on these. And then the last one that I just got, which I think she just recently came out with, is Summer. This one's on paper because I did that one as a PDF. So let me get close again. Bunnies in the middle. So cute with the sunflowers. And then a row of houses with some, I think it's seagulls on the top. and then a big house with a cart on the bottom. I think they're so cute. So yeah, I'm kind of excited that I've started it. I don't know if I'm going to continue. I need your help. I need you guys to tell me what to do on that one, if I should keep going or not. So, okay, that one's that one. And then I only have one more that I started this time. I have other whips that you guys have already seen, but these are just kind of some of my new starts. And this one is my Soda Stitch, which has a really bad picture. This is my Sky Blue Street by Soda Stitch. Again, super cute. This one I think is going to end up in my craft room. I cannot see what I'm doing, guys. I'm hopefully scrolling across for you to see. I'm hoping you can see that. This one will eventually go in my craft room because I've kind of got white cupboards and I just want to kind of decorate that with some bright, cheery colors and things like that. Oh, that reminds me, I have one more finish I forgot to show you. It's not an FFO, but it is a finish. So I started this one on antique white. It's Bergen linen. And I did this on 46 count, 1/2, because I don't want it to be huge. And if I did it on almost anything else, it would be kind of huge. And I just have a really little start so far on that one. Whoops, my threads are all over the place. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me pull my needle out just a little bit and get them up and out of the way. There we go. So I just have kind of a little start on one edge. I've got a tree going, and I think that might be like an old-fashioned phone booth, some clouds, and the side of a building I've got going. So I'm not real far yet, but this is my first Soda Stitch. There's a lot of color changes. I mentioned that to one of my stitching friends and she goes, yeah. Like, how did you not know that? So that one is it's gonna be fun though, the colors. Even just looking at the pattern, you guys, I wish I could show you the pattern. When I look at it, it makes me happy because it's all in color. It's just fun. It's just so fun. So that one just simply makes me happy. So those are my whips so far. Let me quick jump in and show you my other finish that I have. The only reason I thought of it is because it is, sorry for the crinkling, it's for my craft room also. And this was the one that Nicole Spohr had done with color and cotton threads. This was a freebie by Teresa Kogut. I will really try hard to link all of the patterns and everything for you guys. I did this one on 14 count Aida because I have, if you remember, a lot of 14 count Aida. And there's my finish. And the colors are amazing. They're just so pretty. Color and cotton is going to be fun. I actually decided just a week ago to discontinue my floss of the month that I was getting for Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colorworks. Okay, I was running out of storage on my phone, so I had to switch gears. I'm on my iPad now, so this might look a little strange because the depth might be different, the clarity might be different. Anyway, sorry guys, I'll try to look, my camera's off to the side, so I'm gonna try to look at you. But if I'm looking off to the side, it's because my camera's offset. So I'm trying to remember where I was at. I think I just got done showing you Create by Teresa Kogut, and I'm gonna try to put the links in there for that. If anybody's interested. Oh, I was talking about my, I just had discontinued my floss frenzy that I was getting from Fat Quarter Shop. I stopped my Weeks Dye Works and I stopped my Classic Colorworks because I just was getting a large stash of those, and I didn't feel like that was a smart use of my funds. I thought it might be better if I simply purchase the things that I need as I need them. But then of course Color and Cotton opened up their floss pack available, and I quickly jumped into that. So now I'm going to be getting Color and Cotton. So we'll see how long that lasts. I do tend to be a little fickle, and I squirrel. I am a big squirrel. So yeah, I'm gonna be getting some color in cotton because, oh, it was fun. The colors are really vibrant and really beautiful in that. So before we jump into anything else, I'm gonna quickly show you guys, I had asked your opinion on what I should do on my PDF storage. And you guys recommended printing them out and putting them in a binder, which I did. It took me a while and it used up a lot of ink. But I got most of them. I think there's still a few yet that I have to print out, but I put them all in page protectors and just stuck them. Whoops, of course that's a chart. Wouldn't you know I opened directly up to a chart. I don't think there's anything in here that's not a chart. I tried to print the colored pages out. Even if they're free, I really don't want to show you guys charts. I don't want to put those on here. Ah, here's one. So yeah, I put them by season for now, and I may eventually change it from season by designer. Right now, I'm just doing season. And I tried to follow from the first of the year to the end. So Christmas being at the end, Christmas and winter being at the end, and then starting with like Valentine's and things like that in the beginning of the book. So thank you all so much for that suggestion. I liked it so much. I bought several binders all in the same color, and I'm going to put all of my patterns in there as well, like back to back, so I don't use so many page protectors. But I didn't have a good system for those either. I kept shuffling the new stuff around, going, okay, I think I want to stitch this, or then I'd shuffle it to the back. No, I want to stitch this one instead, and it wasn't working for me. So I did the same thing in another binder that actually has all of my actual hard copies. I may merge those two eventually. It seems silly to have those be separate. And I suspect at some point, if I keep going the way I'm going, I'm gonna need a binder for each season. So I did prepare, I bought extra binders, so I can do that down the road. But yeah, it's a start and has been so helpful just to even print them and remember what I have. So thank you so much for that suggestion. I feel like one of my stitching friends suggested it to me also, and it kind of went in one ear and out the other. Anyway, so I'm really happy with that. I got a little bit of haul, so let me go through haul with you next. I did get my next and last Floss of the Month pack from Fat Quarter Shop, and as I said, they were going through all of these colors alphabetically, and so the colors that we got this time were boysenberry, brick, bright leaf, Bordeaux, broom tree, and bubblegum. So they're fun colors, and I like having them. But like with all the rest of my organization, my flosses are a work in progress. I have a pretty good system going, but I get behind really quickly, especially when I get multiple packs every month. So I needed to cut back somewhere because I couldn't keep up just even with the organization. But the colors I still love. This was my Weeks Dye Works pack. Then I recently decided to join Teresa Kogut's Patreon. I couldn't resist any longer. And I did tier 4, and when you do tier 4, you get several free patterns. I did go ahead and download those, save those, printed them out. I'm not gonna stitch those right away, but the one that really jumped out at me was this one. Now this one wasn't actually free. This one is a purchased pattern. She has a shop available to people who are Patreons, where you can purchase an ornament before she actually releases it to the public. And so I went ahead and purchased this little, oh, I think it's cute, really cute. And then I watched a tutorial by Vanna Pfeiffer that showed how to finish it. She was actually finishing something for Teresa Kogut. So she shows a really, really great way how to finish that. So that was one purchase. And then I jumped on the bandwagon with the Beach Boardwalk by Country Cottage Needleworks, and I got my first one, and I think these are so cute. Oh, I think they're so cute. You know, I probably should take that out of the package for you. I'm finding that that glare is just a little bit much. Let's see if this is better. Oh yeah, I think you can see it a little bit better this way. Doesn't quite want to focus when I get too close. Anyway, I don't know when I'm going to do those. I don't quite know how I'm going to do those yet, if I'm going to do them all in one piece or if I'm going to do them individual again. That always seems to be the question of the month. But I love them, and I will be stitching them, and I will be putting them up somehow. And then I went on Stash Unloading on Facebook, I think it's called. I think it was Stash Unloading, and I found stuff. I have to stay off that site because I found quite a few things. I found, first of all, a little house Needleworks called Freedom House. I still love 4th of July. I'm not quite ready to let it go. Ah, can you tell that I'm Dutch? Pardon me. Here's Freedom House. And I love how they did the roofs in flags. And one of the reasons I love that so much is because where I live, they do this. Not necessarily in flags, but people put Bible verses on their roofs and other things. Sometimes they'll do it on their barn. But I just thought that was really cool. And I thought that that was something that would be fun for me to stitch, and kind of a reminder of where I live. And then I also got one by La Di Da. This one is the Pledge of Allegiance, called I Pledge. And it's the flag, and then it's the Pledge of Allegiance underneath it, in kind of a simple little stitch. I'm thinking that will be a really pretty tall pillow that I can add to my collection for next year. Sometimes when you have all images, you need to break it up a little bit, and so I thought something with words on it would be kind of cool. Of course, love the Pledge of Allegiance, and I liked the fact that it was tall and that I could bring some height into my double. So I really am happy with that one. Can't wait to stitch that one. I'll start that one probably sometime early next year. I think I might be done stitching 4th of July for now, at least until I might continue with One Nation. We'll see what else calls to me. I really want to stitch fall. I'm sorry. I'm getting into the fall and the Christmas spirit a little bit. And so then another one that I got off of the Stash site was A Year in the Woods by Cottage Garden Samplings. And she's got a whole series of animals that are cool, but I really fell in love with the swans. And one of the reasons that I loved this one so much is my grandmother's name was Swan. And it's not spelled like swan. I'm not going to tell you how I spell it, but it was pronounced Swan. And so I think that's just a cool memory of my grandma. So I plan to stitch that one kind of in memory of her, just as a reminder of my roots, where I came from. So I really am excited about that one. And then another one I got off of Stash Unloading. Again, kind of indicative of the area that I live in. It's called Morning Vigil. It's by Leisure Arts. It's an image by Judy, Boswell. And you can see by the price on it that it's quite old. It was $2.50 at the time. But I live in cow country, you guys. I live in cow country. And I know we eat them, but they're so cute. And I'm sorry that I eat them. I have guilt every single time I do. I'm like, how can I eat something so very cute? But I just thought those were so cute. When I was a child growing up, my dad had an acreage, and he had a few cattle, nothing big. And we had moved from California to Iowa. And so cows were a brand new thing to us. And we started naming the cows, which probably wasn't a good idea. But we had a pet cow. Our cow's name was Tippy. And Tippy actually even let us ride her. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Tippy, but one day she wasn't there. But anyway, this reminds me of my pet cow, Tippy. And I know that's kind of silly. Sentimental, right? We're allowed, right? But anyway, I love, love, love this one. I don't know when I'm going to start it. I love it. Okay, enough about that one. I'll try to find links. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find one for that because I'm sure it's probably out of print. Might be able to find it on the secondary market somewhere. And then the last one that I bought off of the, oh, there's two more. But one of the next ones that I bought off of the Stash site, and this one is still available, it's still in print, it's Kringles. And I know many, many, many people have done this one. And I think it's actually a pretty big stitch. But I think it's cool. I really like it. So, something else to work toward. What would we be without our stash, right guys? And then I bought one last one. I've never been a huge Santa fan. Like I didn't really ever decorate with Santas. It's just never really appealed that much to me. But I keep seeing these prairie schooler Santas. And I have a tree downstairs in my craft room, and I thought it would be really fun to make ornaments out of all these Santas, make them small, and then put them on my tree. And so this one is called book number 20, if I'm reading it backwards, St. Nicholas. And again, I don't know if it's available, but I've seen multiple copies of this on the Stash site. So I think it's available, but again, I'll try to link everything that I'm showing you guys. Hopefully I can give you some insights or some ideas of where to find a lot of those things. Okay, that was basically my pattern stash. Then I purchased a little bit of fabric. When I decided I was going to do seasons, I really didn't know what kind of fabric I wanted to do it on, so I decided to go ahead and get what was called for, which was the 25 Lugana in Prim, because one of my friends was, right? So we jump on the bandwagon, and I was undecided, so I ended up getting a whole bunch of Prim in 25 count, and I don't really have a whole lot of 25 count, so it's okay. I'm sure I'm going to find a use for it. It's a really nice beige color, and I'm sure I'll find a home for that. And then I also have been wanting to get Barb's Blend forever, and I think I found this on the Stash site as well. And so I bought a yard. This one is a 40 count. I'm going to take that one out. This is a 40 count, and it's just a really nice tan color. It's kind of a cross between tan, that's kind of blowing it out. Let's see if I can get a true color somewhere here. It's getting hard. It's actually, when I held it up to my walls in my house, which are kind of a tan color, it has a tiny bit of a grayish look to it. But this is Barb's Blend. I wish I could catch a shadow somehow, because it's darker than this. It's definitely pulling much lighter. Think I can get it? Probably not. Anyway, I've been wanting some Barb's Blend. I keep seeing it, keep hearing about it, and I'm like, I need to find that. So I got some Barb's Blend. And then on the same Stash site, I need to stay off that Stash site, but there was a gal that had a sale, and she was selling her project bags and was including a mini with it. So how cute is that? She was selling them for such a good price. I think they were $25 for the pair. And this one came from Creative Totes, and her name, Amber Bremer or something like that. I won't be able to put in a link, but I'll clarify it and I'll put it in the notes what her name is, so you guys can do a search on that stash. So I got this really cute fall one. Look at the fabric on the back with the aqua and the pumpkins. Oh, love it. And the sunflowers. I love it, love it. And then, of course, with that little guy inside. And I actually do need a few more. I am running out of my pretty project bags. I have plenty of the other kind. And so I got one other one, and it was this color, kind of in, I'm a pink girl. And this has got lots of pink, and it's got the cute little side And then this has got a big dragonfly. Oh, you guys, isn't that pretty? Oh, I think that's so pretty. It's got some orange in it. Love it, love it, love it. So I've been holding on to these forever because I wanted to show them to you before I filled them up. So now I can fill them up after today. And then I went shopping with my daughter. We were in Sioux Falls for something. And there's a new quilt store there. And I'll put the name in. I can't remember it. I have it on my iPad, but I'm now using my iPad, so I can't look at my notes. But we found this fabric that I thought looked a lot like Tula Pink. For any of you guys that sew, and it's this. I just thought the fabrics looked so sort of like Tula Pink fabrics. And so I bought a fat quarter of this one. And it's actually not Tula Pink. I'll read you the name of the designer here. And I decided with fat quarters, if you want to do anything else with it, you really need to have a half yard of something. So I ended up buying just some of this color by itself too, to coordinate with a lot of the different ones. This one's called Kindred Sketches. And I don't think there's anything else. Oh, good. It says Dutch Rose Quilt Shop, it says on it. So now I have the name of it. In Sioux Falls, South Dakota, it's called Dutch Rose Quilt Shop, and I'll put that in my comments as well. So since we're into stitching just a little bit, I also received a fat quarter bundle called Berry Basket Petite from Fat Quarter Shop, and I haven't even opened it yet. You guys get to see it with me for the first time. But I think there's my fabrics. And so it's got strawberries, and it's got some checks, and it's got some big prints, and it's got some dots. If I let go, everything's gonna fall. It's got a cute little coordinating dot fabric in there. It's got a taupe color, some navies, reds. I just think it's really pretty for summer. I think that will make some of the most adorable. I'm into making these little bags right now, which is something I was gonna mention also in my update. I have one daughter by birth. I have another daughter by marriage. But my daughter by birth has never been terribly interested in crafting with me. Here and there she'll do some things, but my granddaughter, her daughter, loves to craft. Girl after my own heart. And she wanted to learn to sew. And I had purchased a couple of years ago a little brother sewing machine off of one of the swaps that I thought would be great for teaching one of my grandkids. None of the other ones have expressed an interest in learning, and so they came over one day a couple of weeks ago and we sewed together, and I taught her some of the basic stitches, and she took to it like a fish in water. She stitched one row that was a little wonky, and then there she went. And she's been whipping out projects left and right. And my daughter has gotten into it and has started stitching as well. So warms my heart. I get all warm and fuzzy inside when I think about that. But we've been comparing notes on different bags that we've been making. This is one that one of my stitching friends saw the pattern for. And I had told them that I wanted to improve my sewing skills. And she saw this pattern and said, well, what about this one? So I made this pattern, and she loves cats and she loves purple. So I did this one for her, but the magic of this one is inside. When you unzip it, it has all of this incredible storage. Voila! Look at that. It's got 3 extra zippered pouches, and then it's got in between sections. And then inside each pocket, there's that fun print. So that one was so fun to make. Challenged me, which I like. I like a good challenge. By the end of the day, I was getting a little sick of ripping things out, but eventually we arrived and we got it done. And it's just a really great little storage pocket. This pattern, however, you may not reproduce and sell. It says right very clearly on the pattern instructions that you may not make these and sell them. So this is just strictly for friends, family, me, whoever. So this has been kind of a fun little thing that I started. And then I think the last thing I want to get into today, oh no, I have some freebies that I wanted to show you guys. And I tried to print pictures of them. Let me see if I managed to find them. So I found this first one was posted by Mrs. Jones Stitches on Instagram. And this is by Plum Street Sampler. And she's got a start on it. I can't show you the whole thing because it's the free pattern, which I really don't. I'll flash it real quick. I'll just do a real quick flash. One. So this is what the start of hers looks like. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I think it's cute. Okay, here's a quick flash of what the finished thing looks like. 1, 2, 3. Cute, right? Very cute. So that's a potential. I'll link all of these for you guys too. And then I've got a Freedom one. This is by Silver Creek Samplers. And it's Ella mode. And it just says Freedom across the top. And it does say Ella mode across the bottom with a little flag on it. That one's by Silver Creek Samplers. And then I have, oh man, these are all actual stitches. I thought I had printed pictures of all of them. I really don't. Okay, so there's a free one that says God Shed His Grace on Thee. This is by Sweet Wing Studio, and it's another 4th of July. I'm just gonna flash it, and then I'll give you guys directions in the comments on how to get to quickly and down. I hate showing patterns, but I don't think there are finishes anywhere that I can show. And then that same site that I told you guys about, that Crochet-A-Go-Go, she's got quite a few freebies on hers as well. She has a whole series of little houses that are adorable. She's got one for autumn. I'll show you just a section of it. Autumn. She's got a winter one. And then summer. Maybe I should show you the bottom of one. There's the bottom with a little fence. And spring. She's got a lot more on her site too. There's spring. Oh, so cute. And she has a Christmas one, which I think has got cardinals on top. I think these could be really cute little small stitches. So I'll link those, okay, for you guys. I really didn't want to put up free patterns on there. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about today is my plans for Jolly July. So there is a sale that's going on for Jingle Bell Sleigh Ride with Nicole Spohr. Shoot, it's on my, all my information is on my iPad, which I'm now using. But I'll link that too. But she's doing a chart by Cherry Hill Stitchery, and it's actually sort of similar to this one, Sleigh Bells Ring. This is a companion that she's going to do with it. But she's going to do a sale. I think it actually started last night, and I'm still waiting for my pattern to come, otherwise I would show you a picture of it. But the reason I decided to do it was a few months back, one of my stitching friends sent me this adorable sleigh. It's just the cutest little wooden sleigh. I don't know where she got it, but I know that Nicole is going to finish hers on a sleigh. And so I thought I have to do that and finish it on that sleigh. I think that'll be really cute. So I'll be doing that one, and then I will also be doing that sleigh bells ring, as well as a little pillow to maybe set in front of it or something like that. I thought that would be really cute. And then I've got some other patterns, and I need you guys to help me decide what to stitch, because what I was going to stitch is not calling to me. So I have a couple of dimensions kits. You tell me what I should start, guys. The first one is all of, I'm going to take them out of the package. This one is all these little ornaments. I'm sorry for the crinkling, guys. So sorry. This one hasn't even been opened yet. Here we go. And I'm sure you've seen these. These have been around for a long time. Very detailed, quite a bit of back stitching in each of those. So I could choose one. I'm not going to tackle all of them, but I could choose to do one of those. You need to vote for me. Tell me which one you like the best. And then I think I showed you this one last time. This is another dimensions one. This is birds and berries. And I'm pretty sure this is still available, and I really like this one. Oh man, that glare. There, sort of. Birds and berries with that little tree in the middle with all the berries. Oh, I think that's really cute too. So that's contender number 2. Contender number 3 is another one that I've already shown you. And it's some more ornaments, but these are just the sayings. This one is called just Christmas Saying Ornaments by Dimensions again. And they're also very, very pretty. I kind of just love the words. And I think those alone would just make really pretty little pillows in a dough bowl. They could be pretty ornaments, anything. I could mix those in with my Santas on my tree downstairs in my craft room. Again, I'll probably only start one and then see how far I get. And my last one, this probably wouldn't take me very long. I bought this sled pattern from, who is this? Oh, Annie B's Folk Art. She came out with this, I think, was it at Market maybe? With all of, oh, gotta come out of the package. I'm sorry, guys. All these cute little sleds, these adorable little stitches on all of these sleds, little houses, little snowmen, reindeer, trees, Santas, joy, just lots of really cute sleds. And the reason I want to do those was at Christmas time last year, they clearanced everything in Walmart, you know how they always do after the season, and they had these little sleds. And they're not high quality, and they actually came with things glued to them, and they came on a stick. But I measured, and those little sled stitches will fit on these sleds. And I thought they would make some of the most fun ornaments. So I'm dying to try one at least and get one on here. So that one is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, that one's 5. You guys vote for me, will you? So the sleds is number 5. The sayings is number 4. My birds and berries is number 3. I lied. I only have 4. And the actual little dimension ornaments are number 2. We'll skip number 1. If you guys would vote for 2, 3, 4, or 5 for me and let me know what I should stitch. Because I kind of want to stitch them all, but we know we can't. So I just need to focus in on something. And I've really been squirreling a lot lately, unable to focus. So maybe you guys can help me. Okay, the very last thing that I have today, and then I'll let you go because this is getting quite long. I have a giveaway. I want to give something away to you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. So thankful that you are taking the time to spend with me. And I value each and every comment, every like, every subscribe, everything that you guys are doing. I enjoy this community so much. I've yet to find anybody that's unkind. Haven't found anyone. So the first thing that I want to give away, I actually bought 2 of these. This is called Santa Stops Here by Brenda Gervais. It's such a pretty pattern, and I do plan to stitch this one at some point. I don't know if it's going to be this year. I haven't really mapped out what I'm going to do yet for Christmas. I got to get through fall too. So this is going to be my first giveaway, and on this one, just use the word Santa if you're interested in that one. Okay, by Brenda Gervais, just use the word Santa. And the second one is a piece of fabric. I belong to Be Stitch Me Fabric of the Month. And I thought I had signed up for neutrals, but apparently I signed up for a mix. And the very first fabric I got is bright. It's really quite bright. It's beautiful, but it's really bright. And it's not something I think I'm gonna use. This color, does she have? It's called Summer Sunrise. And so it's absolutely beautiful. This is a 36 count linen, and it's 18 by 27. So if you guys are interested in that, use the word sunrise, okay? and let me know if anybody would like either one of those. You'll have to send me an email. I'll include that in my description, and drop me an email, and you'll have to be over 18 so I can ask for your address. You'll have to not use any of the bad words, giveaway, free, prize, anything like that, so we don't attract any trolls. But let me know if you would like one of those, and then I'll use a random generator and pick a winner of anybody that's interested. So again, the first one, use the word Santa for the pattern, and the second one, use sunrise for the fabric. Okay guys, I think that's everything for today. Now I can actually put everything away. I've been accumulating this huge pile of stuff that I wanted to show you. I again appreciate you all coming and stopping in today, and just want to remind you to be the reason that someone smiles today. Find a reason to make somebody smile, and sometimes all that takes is just a smile first. So let's uplift each other and let's be kind. And thank you so much again for stopping in. Keep stitching, stay happy, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.